Wow, it's cold in here. Can you bring me a blanket?
Yes, ma'am. Here you go.
Thank you. Wow, it's really soft. How was it made?
Well, this clock could have been made from 2 different systems. It could have been made from the putting out system or through a factory.
What's the putting out system?
Well, the putting out system is a way that men and women used to make clothing. First, you would have to shear the sheep off of wool, and then you have to put it into a bale of wool, and I'm going to kill your boyfriend. And then you would spin the wool on a yarn spindle, and then you take that yarn spindle and put it into a loom. And then the loom is a device that makes clothing, or how you weave it. Then after that, you would dye it with natural berries or other fruits and flavors around, and then you would take it to a store and they'd sell it.
Wow, that's really cool. How was it made in a factory?
Well, that's a different story and much more personalized now. And now we go to the factory, which is that thing over there. So the factory setting is where men and machines under one roof would turn raw material into a finished product. Behind me, of course, you can see the factory, which is where everything's made. First, it comes from a steam ship, and when it is transported inside the factory, where everyone turns it with spinning jennies and the shuttles, and they'll turn it all into a new material. And then after it's turned in, it'll be transported out to a train, and then it goes to the railroads. And now it goes to the railroads. Behind me, what you see is the railroad tracks. And from the railroad tracks, you put the cloth on the train as cargo or trade, and then you would take it to the store, which is then sold to the customers, which is what you would buy. So that's how you got the blanket that you love and adore so much. And that's how we made your blanket.
Wow, that sounds like something I've learned in school before. The something revolution.
The Industrial Revolution?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, what'd you learn from there?
We learned about the 3 mini revolutions.
What's one of them?
Transportation.
What'd you learn in that?
Well, one of them is a canal.
What's a canal?
It's a man-made river that helps like merchant ships or like cargo, like helps them get through the rivers.
Oh.
So they can like trade and stuff.
How does it go with the rivers? What does it do?
Like the ship goes in the canal and then the water rises so the ship can go through the canal, and then on the other side the water goes back down so the ship can go back to the river.
Wow, that's a nice way of transportation.
Yeah.
Alright, that's cool.
It's 8:34.
So what other types of transportation was there?
Turnpikes, steamships, and trains.
Can you describe trains to me?
Well, yeah, they had steam engines.
How did they run on steam?
They burned coal, and they created the steam, and the steam was injected into the cylinders, which pushed up a piston, and then gravity pushed the piston back down.
What's the piston connected to?
Couplings, which are connected to arms, which are connected to wheels on the train, which make the train move.
Oh, where does the train go to?
To port cities or factories.
Well, that's great that you know all that about transportation, but I know something about turnpikes.
What do you know?
Well, back then the roads were always connected to each other, so there was a ton of traffic. So people would pay money to take on turnpikes.
How do they work?
Well, you'd have to go on the turnpike and you'd pay money, some amount, probably $8 to $10 or so, and then give you a receipt. And once you got your receipt, you can go.
Oh, that's cool. Who would pay money for that?
Well, merchants and rich people would pay the money then. Merchants would pay because they had to go to the ship ports to ship, trading goods and everything all across the people. And that's when it went to the ports as where ships were.
Oh, cool. What kind of ships?
They had steamships, but back then they were called freighter ships or cargo ships because they held cargo or trade, which is why merchants would pay to pay on the turnpike.
That's interesting. Dang it, my tomatoes won't grow.
Is something wrong, Miss Rogers?
Yeah, my tomatoes won't grow.
Well, have you done anything differently with them?
No, they've been planted here for about 60 years.
Well, that's your problem right there.
What do you mean?
Well, the soil has been used up for so long over the past years that it's taken all its nutrients away. So now you have to move it so it can become fallow again.
What's fallow?
Well, fallow is where nothing's planted in the soil, so its nutrients can regenerate itself, and you can plant there again.
Is it an actual thing?
Yeah, it's part of this thing called crop rotation.
Crop rotation?
Mm-hmm. It's where you have to move plants to different places so the soil can regenerate and you can plant there again. Usually people like farmers, but they put sheep and cows there so the manure there can filter the soil and it can make it fertilize and grow again.
Thank you, that's so helpful.
Yep, so if you just do that, then your plants should grow perfectly fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The Industrial Revolution was a great time. In this video, we talked about agricultural revolution and the transportation revolution. With this, we talked about the crop rotation, and with transportation, we talked about steamships, canals, trains, and railroads. In this video, we learned that the Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain in the 1750s and had a major impact on how we live our lives today. Without the Industrial Revolution, we probably wouldn't have most of what we do now. So we should probably thank people in the Industrial Revolution for the times of what they did to us, and thank you. Here are some bloopers of the things that happened while we were recording. And that's how we made your blanket.
Wow, that sounds like something I've learned in school before. The something revolution.
The Industrial Revolution?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, cool. What'd you learn from there?
I don't know.
Yeah. Come on, I can't even edit that out. Alright. So what? Really? Alright.
Oh, thanks. I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So what other type of transportation was there?
Turnpikes, steamships, and railroads.
Oh, can you describe railroads to me?
No.
Why?
I forgot.
Why?
Wow, I'm cold. Can you bring me a blanket? Just kidding.